Greetings and salutations, my fellow Tekken players. In this video, we will be focusing on Lars' evasion. I've compiled a short list of the most effective tools to use when you are under pressure from the opponent or have a good read on your opponent's tendencies. By the end of this video, your evasive abilities will be on this level. So watch closely, you may just learn something. We're going to start with some generic defensive and evasion tools. We must start with these generic tools because Lars has a very unique kit that strengthens his down +1 and down +4, your generic defensive tools. Let's begin. Down 1 is a 10-frame move that avoids highs, it's useful for interruption, and it's extremely fast. Of course, if abused, it can be easily sidestepped, crushed, backdashed, and low parried. But when placed appropriately and this move connects, the best way to capitalize off of it is by doing a full crouch down forward 1+2. One of Lars' best slows due to it being low risk at only -12. At +6 on hit, you'll be able to beat a down forward 1 by your opponent by 1 frame. High attacks are crushed due to you being in a full crouch position for the duration of the attack. If you notice your opponent is foolish enough to challenge your +6 with a 12 frame mid or a low crush, go for a full crouch down forward 2. For a safe counter hit mid that trades with your opponent's fastest options and also tracks in both directions. Down +4. Believe it or not, it's one of Lars' best moves. Almost all his lows are launch punishable. Down +4, however, can only be launched by about 4 characters, so it's a good, quick poke. Some Lars players prefer to go for down back +1 because it's -12 on block instead of -13, and -1 instead of -2 on hit. But as an evasion move, down +4 is a lot more effective because it has tracking to both ways and has a much faster startup at 12 frames instead of 17 frames. Sparing you from a lot of potential counter hits. If you don't know your opponent's tendencies, movement is generally the best choice after connecting with a down +4, but it is a very effective low poke and evasive tool to get away from highs. Now, moving into more Lars specific moves, we'll get into While Standing 2. While Standing 2 has the ability to consistently evade jabs. This move is one of Lars' best for a multitude of reasons, especially in Season 4 with the change to its second hit now being a counter hit launcher. Check out my top 5 secretly OP moves video on the top right for a deeper breakdown of While Standing 2 as well as some other underrated Lars moves. For the purposes of evasion, While Standing 2 is particularly useful in conjunction with down 4. Using it after one of these moves limit the options of your opponent. You will evade all jabs and you beat people trying to step other useful follow-ups like down 1 or While Standing 4, forcing your opponent to go for riskier options or just sit there and block. And if they are caught blocking and hesitating to While Standing 2, use this hesitation to your advantage. You can mix them up with stances because they're scared of getting hit by that counter hit follow-up. Finally, just remember when using down back 1 or down 4, always keep While Standing 2 in mind. The next move we'll be getting into is back 1+2. This move is most useful at the wall where you can collect a wall splat. Unfortunately, it doesn't knock down like previous games. This move isn't a true high crush and can get hit by some highs, however it's hard to predict which ones. Since it's not a true high crush, you benefit from using it when you're not too minus. somewhere between 0 and -3 or so. This is recommended because it takes a moment before the evasion takes effect on this move. Despite not being a true high crush, it's fairly reliable and can even occasionally go under some mids. It's only -10 on block. Considering all the utility this move has, its risk reward is pretty impressive when your opponent's back is on the wall. The next evasion tool I'd like to discuss is down 4-2-1. This move exclusively goes under jabs and nothing else. In previous seasons, you used to be able to crouch under the second hit and launch Lars for attempting this move. But in Season 4, the second hit is now -14 and is a mid. This change means only a handful of characters can launch this move if blocked, unlike before when all of the cast could if they appropriately reacted. Now that down 4-2-1 is -14, it could be considered a medium risk, high reward evasion tool. It also has a bit of tracking to the right side, Lars' weak side. You can't get behind Lars while he's attempting to do this attack because he realigns on the second hit. The optimal response to this attack is to quickly step and then launch before the second hit comes out. The extra steps of effort that go into countering this move can throw players off in the heat of battle. Down 4-2-1 only evades jabs, but jabs are one of the most popular moves in high levels of play, so keep this attack in mind for people who like checking you with jabs. Now, we will be moving into my favorite part of the video. The next two moves I will be discussing are probably the most powerful tools Lars has for the purposes of evasion. Let's begin, shall we? Let's discuss up 4-3. One of Lars' most infamous attacks, and one of the most unpredictable moves in his arsenal. Up 4-3 is a move that is a true low crush. It also has the ability to evade many valuable highs, unlike some of the other high evasion tools Lars has in his arsenal that only evade jabs. Up 4-3 also has the ability to evade high hitbox mids. To make this move even more annoying, this move tracks to Lars' weak side. This is a lot of bullshit built into one move, but luckily every character in this game can launch him for attempting this powerful escape tool. One lesser known fact about up 4-3 is that if you're crouching, up 4-3 has added evasion, allowing you to evade high mids or high attacks that you normally wouldn't crush if you were not in a crouching position. This makes responding with an attack after Lars chips you with a down 4 even riskier, because he may just avoid any of your retaliations. Remember this aspect of up 4-3 when your opponent puts you in crouch, or you put yourself in crouch by doing a down +4 or a down back 1. The final evasion tool I'd like to discuss is down back 1+2. It's -14 on block, so some characters can really make you pay for attempting this move. But its block stun is relatively fast, so most people won't launch it the first time seeing it. So there's benefit to using this move sparingly. Down back 1+2 also has no real crushing attached to it. This massive evasion from the step back he makes while doing the move. Down back 1+2 is best used when expecting your enemy to go for some kind of string, from jabs, from a down forward 1 pose. Down back 1+2 will reliably get you out of many situations no other move could. This move is best used in open spaces. If near a wall, opt for a move like back 1+2 for your most optimal evasion tool. The most interesting part about this move is, like, unlike some of other Lars' evasive tools, you can effectively use this move without access to many frames. If you try to use a move like back 1+2 at -6, it doesn't have any of its evasion. In fact, a lot of evasion tools follow this rule. But down back 1+2 breaks these rules. Even at -7, Lars can still dodge jabs, mids, and end up on top of the situation. So keep down black 1+2 in mind for opponents who love taking their turn back on block with a string or any type of fast series of attacks. Be careful though, don't be too predictable with this move, because even though it's not launch punishable on block by every character, if anticipated, the opponent can easily get your rear and cause massive damage. That about wraps up the evasion tools I believe that you should be using as Lars players. I wish you all much success with the newly acquired knowledge you have gained. If I may add, just because you have these evasive tools at your disposal does not mean you should always be using them. Remember, stepping, blocking, backdashing, these should be your primary options when you think about evasion. But when you have a good understanding of your opponent's tendencies, apply these moves. Thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button to buff Lars and subscribe for more detailed breakdowns and Tekken videos in general. Thank you for watching again.